Good morning and good afternoon, everyone. Today, I will present my individual project entitled CareCart Food Bank Donation Management System. CareCart is a web-based platform developed to improve food bank operation by helping provider manage inventory while allowing donors to contribute for items through an organized donation process. The system will automatically generate urgent donation requests whenever inventory falls below predefined threshold, reducing manual works and improve response times. I will demonstrate the system based on three user roles, which is the provider, donor, and admin. So first, this is the CareCart homepage. It briefly introduces the purpose of the system together with the main functionalities. Here, user can either register for a new account or log in based on their respective roles. I will demonstrate the provider module first. A food bank that wish to use the system must register. The provider enters the organization name, and then email and address. And then we have phone number, operating hours, email username and password. So after submitting the registration form, the account is successfully created. However, the provider cannot immediately access the system because every provider account requires admin approval before activation. So if the provider attempts to log in before the approval, such as let's try to log in, the system will display an error notification informing the provider that the account is still pending admin approval. So after, let's try to log into the account that has been approved by the admin. So here, it is successfully authenticate the credential and redirects provider to the dashboard. So here is the dashboard where it provides an overview of provider current inventory records together with the number of active urgent needs. There's a quick buttons to improve navigation efficiency and the navigation bar. Okay, moving on to the first page, which is the provider's profile page, where information such as email, provider name, phone number, address, and operating hours can be updated whenever necessary. So for example, let me update the operation hour from 24 hours to, for example, 2 p.m. until 10 p.m. And click on this save button, and yeah, it's already successfully edited. And then moving on to the inventory modules that allow providers to manage all available food items. Provider can add new inventory, edit existing records, or remove unnecessary item. So I will demonstrate the adding a new inventory item. The provider will enter item name, such as, for example, rice. And then we have quantity. Quantity currently is 0. And the minimum threshold is 20. Unit price will be 23 ringgit. So I will save, add, and then as you can see here, since the available quantity is lower than threshold value, the system will automatically create urgent installation requests. Let's see on the dashboard. You go from 0 to 1. However, if the threshold is lower than the quantity, the system will not create an urgent donation request. Let's try to add item that the threshold is below than the quantity. For example, I will add milk. We have the quantity 5. And then the threshold, milk, we have quantity of 10. The threshold is 5. And I will add. So it will still add on the inventory list. However, it will not create an urgent donation request. So here we go. The quantity of urgent donation request did not change the number. So provider also can delete the update and delete the existing record. For example, I want to change the milk from 5 ringgit to 12 ringgit. So here we go. It's already successfully change the unit price, and then if the provider wants to delete, they can just delete them. Moving on to the urgent needs, this actually display all the urgent requests belonging only to the currently logged in provider. Provider has data isolation, meaning one provider can access another provider urgent request. The provider can monitor required quantity, total donated, remaining quantity, donation progress, and completion status. Lastly, after completing the inventory management, the provider can log out securely from the system. Okay, moving on, I will demonstrate the donor module by clicking here. A new donor first need to create register. Just create an account by providing their personal information, including full name, phone number, email, and password. Okay, and then they require you to click this button to successfully register as a donor. So on the donor login, donor can log into the system, but if there is invalid credential, it will display an error notification. For example, here you go. But if it does not, it will bring donors to dashboard that provides an overview of the total active urgent requests currently available. So instead of here, above here, they have the urgent needs navigation. So instead of displaying every donation request together, the system first display all the approved food banks. So each provider has information including address, phone number, operating hours, numbers of urgent needs, inventory records, and total donation received. So after selecting a provider, here for example, the donor is present with only that provider's urgent request, which improve usability and prevent different provider requests from being mixed together. So, and then here, the donor can select any items to donate, and they require to specifies the quantity. However, the system validates the inputs and prevents donor from contributing more than the required quantity. You see, it will display the error if the input is more than the required quantity. Okay, and then donor can continue to donate, and here is the payment page where it will automatically calculate the total amount based on the donation quantity and unit price. The donor can select a preferred bank before confirming the payments, and then it can confirm. So the payment has been successfully done. So the donation details are saved into the database. Receipt number will generate automatically. The urgent request is updated, and if the required quantity reaches 0, the urgent request status will automatically change to complete. Not to forget, the system will automatically send an email receipt to the donor. The receipt contains the donation information, receipt number, payment details, and confirmation of the completed transaction. However, since on the back end, the host is my personal email, so the sender is actually my name, which is the inaskardin@gmail.com. But as you can see here, we can see the differences between the sender name and the recipient name. And then moving on, donor can also review their previous donation on donation history. This it also has isolation for the donor. Each donor can only view their own donation records, where the page display receipt number, item, quantity, total amount, payment bank, donation date, and status. Here, lastly, is the donor profile, where donor can update their personal information, including full name, email address, and contact number. For example, I will try to change my full name. And save the change. So it has been successfully changed the full name. And then lastly, donor can log out securely. That's all for the donor module. Finally, I will demonstrate the admin module where admin can access the Django administrator panel using admin credential. For example, okay, after successfully log in, admin can view and monitor the CareCart web application from here. So admin, for example, let's try to view the provider section where admin can view all the provider and DR status if they have been approved or still pending. So let's try to click the pending one. So after verify the submitted information, the admin can change the provider status from pending to approved here. And click on the save button. A reminder, only approved providers are permitted to log in into the CareCart system. So now these providers are allowed to log in into the CareCart system. And then here, where admins can monitor all the data stored in the database, include providers, donor, inventory, urgent needs, donation, and payment records. Lastly, admin can securely log out. In conclusion, CareCart actually provide a complete food bank donation management platform by integrating inventory management, automatic urgent needs generation, secure donation processing, payment records, and email receipt notification. Thank you so much for listening. That concludes the demonstration of my CareCart system.